So you're thinking about waving goodbye to the West and starting over in Southeast Asia. Great. There's a whole new life waiting for you here, a different way of life. But before you book that one-way ticket and start daydreaming about day trading from beach bars and taking beautiful women back to your palace in Patong, let's discuss the 5 mistakes most men make within 90 days of arriving that usually send them home screaming. I've seen them. I've made some of them myself. And I could go to the airport right now and watch you guys get off the plane and start making some of these mistakes immediately. So listen to what I have to say so I can save you from becoming the next cautionary tale. The biggest mistake guys make when they first get here, and one that I keep making repeatedly, is this. It would be getting the wrong impression of the right country, city, or neighborhood. This place is a case in point. I just leased it for $600, a spacious 1-bedroom in Phnom Penh. I like the place. I'm not mad at the price. I like the property and the other people in it. What I really love, though, is the neighborhood. A neighborhood that I love in a city I don't really like all that much. Let's go outside and I'll show you what I mean. I'm sure you guys have seen the film or heard the phrase being thrown around. Crazy rich Asian. That's what that would be behind me. If you had a pair of matching Dobermans like the ones on Magnum PI, Zeus and Apollo, or a pair of aging and leathery but good-looking Swedish people playing checkers in the pool, you can make a Slim Aarons photo at that dude's house. Look it up, Slim Aarons, Palm Springs, Frank Lloyd Wright, Richard Neutra. Now check out this dude over here. When I first got here, I was like, whoa, what is that? A gallery or a museum? Can't be some guy's house. The real estate agent goes, yeah, that's some dude's house. The crazy rich Asians are moving in. He saw the other guy's house and said, I'll see your crazy rich Asian house and I'll raise you. So he built one twice as big. He's got an orange Lamborghini, a yellow Ferrari, and a black Bentley in his garage. What I love about the crazy rich Asian dick measuring contest going on around here is that I get the trickle-down effects from their private security and payoffs to the police. It's like bug spray for bad people. There's none of the congestion or calamity, none of the blight, and it doesn't smell, look, or sound like other parts of this city. When I first got here, Phnom Penh, I used to post up at the Fairfield by Marriott, just beyond that new construction. One morning, I said, you know, screw it. I'll skip the gym. I'll walk around the neighborhood and see what it's like. What was it like? Oh, hell no. I said, I'm not living here. Get me back to my treadmill, stat. If you would have stood with me on the 44th floor of that Marriott, their Sky Bar, a year ago and pointed over here and said, Brando, a year from now, dude, you're gonna live in that neighborhood right there, and guess what? You're gonna like it. I would have told you to go fuck yourself, or to go fuck your mother's dead cat, or some other colorful colloquialism that came to mind. No way in hell, I thought. Yet here I am, a year later, just a few city blocks outside of the perimeter of that morning walk, in a neighborhood that I love, in a city I don't like all that much. It's like the Calabasas of Cambodia. Southeast Asia is not all the same. Thailand is a polished paradise with strict visa rules and rising costs. And Vietnam is electric and real, but it's not a foreign culture for the faint of heart. Cambodia, it's chill and cheap, but raw and rough around the edges. The Philippines speaks English, but governance is a problem, and almost nobody goes there for the food. Then there are outliers like Singapore, overbuilt and overpriced, or Laos, underdeveloped and underwhelming. Some people love and others hate Bangkok, big dirty city, or bachelor party bacchanal. Some fall in love with Saigon, as I did. Others think the city sucks. There's almost an undivided opinion about Da Nang, the destination of the day. I highly recommend it. But wait a minute, what about the scorching summer heat and the mold on your walls mid-November? Ever hear of oxytoxicosis? You did now, because I brought up Da Nang. Every place has its peculiarities. Pick the wrong one for your personality or predisposition for medical problems, and you'll be on a plane back to Peoria before you can unpack your Havaianas. Do your homework, read the Reddit threads. Pick a few cities and live in each one for a few weeks at a time. Try them on for size. There are a lot of options in Southeast Asia, and I guarantee you'll find one that works for you. You'll meet a lot of losers in this lifestyle, like the friendly expat who insists on taking care of the bar tab until the bill arrives. Then his cash is suddenly back at the condo, his credit card's out of commission. He'll get you next time though. Or you find a visa agent who looks legit until you land in the reject line at immigration. You put down a deposit on a place you really like until you find out it's a bait and switch, and they've swapped it out with a less desirable unit in the lease. Or worst of all, you fell in love online before you landed. She's what, you say? Perfect? Dude, aren't you forgetting to tell us that you wired her money through your Wise account? Look, I'm not saying everyone's out to scam you, but the ones who are will find you fast. So be like Ted Williams and Warren Buffett. Practice patience. Wait for the slow, fat pitches of friendships before you take a swing. You're coming here for a better life, but you're going to meet a lot of people at the bottom of the barrel who aren't worthy of the invite to your sister's house for Sunday dinner. So get here, put your feet on the ground for a few weeks first, and start to figure out who's a flunky and who might be friendship material. YouTubers love to say you can live over here for less than $500 a month. That's not an outright lie. I've made it work for that amount myself. But it would be safer to call that way of living survival. I've also blown 10 grand in less than 20 days when I wasn't worried about watching expenses. There's a wide latitude in the cost of living here. For instance, on one street in Saigon, you can find a $4 a night hostel, a $100 hooker, and a Fendi store where she wants a $5,000 handbag. Costs can go from laughable to luxury meltdown in minutes. Here's what's reasonable to expect. One bedroom with AC, Wi-Fi, medical insurance, meals out, and the occasional encounter with the opposite sex for about $1,500 a month. But some guys budget for bunk beds and street food, and they realize that doesn't do them any good for a social life, or they wait until last minute and make Western, comfortable, convenient choices for the same cost. So here's the mistake: to believe that you won't go broke here without balancing your budget like Bob from accounting. Plan like a resident, not a tourist extending the hotel room every 2 days. There's a big difference. Yes, I'm happy to announce that the dating market here is much better, but if you show up broken, you're just going to attract the kind of women that profit from broken men. A lot of guys get here and start looking for love, and what they end up with is codependency, wrapped in a pretty package. Fix your mindset before making the move. Women all over the world can sense desperation, especially the gold diggers. And for God's sakes, please don't consider marriage unless you can make a meaningful case about your mental state to your brother back in Boston or best friend in Phoenix. Sure, they may not understand this magical new world you're living in, but you could probably trust them to tell you when you're making really bad decisions. Romance will not solve the loneliness you'll experience here. You'll have to deal with that in other ways. The local women weren't put here to make you feel whole. They won't replace your emotional support animal. You'll have to fix yourself first. Join a gym. A lot of guys get here and never set foot outside the expat bubble. They hang out in backpacker bars and surround themselves with drunks and derelicts, the guys that have been on vacation since before COVID was a thing. Or worse, they build their entire social life around women. They chase girls, but never make any real friends. Here's a fun fact. If your entire circle is foreign dudes doing drugs off of toilet tanks and local girls shopping for a sugar daddy, you're not building a life, you're killing time and your liver. Make local friends. Talk to your landlord. Volunteer your time. Learn 3 words in Thai or Khmer or Vietnamese. Spend as much time with local male friends as you do going out on dates. Meet people who aren't just here to escape something, or that's going to be you. If you're still at the bar at 6 a.m. for the second time this week, talking to that dude from down under who's telling you his tall tale for the 3rd time, bro, you're going down the wrong road. My discourse here is a dead end sign, and it's telling you to turn around. Your future here will depend on the community you build and not the one you stumble into. The biggest mistake of them all is showing up here without a real plan. No visa strategy, no budget, no support system, no exit plan. But it doesn't have to be that way. So I put together a free guide for you guys called the Expat Escape Plan. There's a link for it down below. Think of it as my straight up truth in a checklist I wish someone gave me before I got here. On this channel, I'm trying to broadcast a message of good ideas to grown men who are tired of being treated like children, who are ready for a change, but want to proceed with caution. I like it here. It's a place that doesn't hate me back. I'll see you guys in the next video.